Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is game 3 between Soulkey and Polt here on Ulrena. Oops, not pause, that. In the top side of the map we have the red Terran player, it is Polt, representing CM Storm. And in the bottom side of the map we have the blue Zerg player, it is Soulkey. Alright, so this is game 3 between these two players. If you haven't watched game 1 or game 2, please go back and watch them. They were good. They were good TVZs. I'm casting a whole best of 5 between these players. I'm not going to spoil anything to this point. But please go at the top right. I'll have a link to game number 1. You go back and watch it if you haven't already. Hit game number 2 if you haven't seen that either. And until you do that, I'm not going to move on. I promise. Go ahead and hit that button. Alright, so you did it, you're back. Welcome back. Okay, so the series is tied 1-1. Polt versus Soulkey. Polt taking game number 1 on Dusk Towers fairly convincingly. Soulkey does it as well on Prion Terraces in game number 2. Again, both players really good in their own right. I'm excited to see what game number 3 brings. Here on Ulrena, it seems like this is a pretty favored map for Roach Ravager. This is a really big open ramp into the natural base for the Terran player. If Soulkey can actually go, there it is, actually went pool first again. Pool first into Extractor into second hatchery. So he did this in game number 2. Kind of surprised to see this. Why he's not going for hatch first, I guess maybe he's worried about, that's a Reaper expand, looks fairly standard here. Nothing too aggressive, but he should be able to deal with that Reaper no problem whatsoever. The Reaper expand is going to turn into a command center here. Ready, set, command center to go. And there it is. So he'll have a queen out, he'll have some lings out way before the Reaper even shows up. And I wonder if he's planning on trying to deny this command center with even just 6 slow lings. Might be able to force a cancel or force a liftoff here. So we'll see how this works. The lings are heading on up the map. If our Terran player sees this, he can block off this little narrow stretch with a supply depot. But are the lings going the other way? What is this? The lings are going the super duper long way across the map, all the way over this way, all the way up, and then all the way back home again to the Terran base. So I don't know what that is. I mean, the Reaper's in here, Kitty 8 charging away, Queen stabbing at it with her Talon claws. Reaper juking back on into the main base, doesn't take a shot from the Queen. Well done indeed. No, actually no. What? No lings in here at all. Knocking the drones back, doing 10 damage to those drones, but the lings are here. Sneaky lings. And are they going to be able to kill this SCV? They're going to try to go for it, and indeed they are. Are they going to force the SCV to pull off? It's going to be very close. Yes, they pull the SCV to run, or they force the SCV to run. And are they going to kill it? Good positioning with that Marine on the high ground, though. Oh, but no. The SCV does get killed. The command center is delayed. The Reaper came all the way back home to deal with this, and he does quite admirably, but it did actually slow down the second base for Polt. Didn't force a cancel. Didn't have quite enough lings to do that, but still, a delay is nice. If he showed up with maybe 10 speedlings right now, he just might be able to straight up kill this thing. Or again, force a liftoff and make it go home. Doesn't look like that's in the keys, though, for Soulkey. He has 6 lings on the way. His speed is complete. Is it? Indeed it is. Speed is complete. Queen's here, using those creep tumors to spread that there creep. And a third hatchery on the way for Soulkey. 10 lings in production. Maybe he is. Maybe he's going for some crazy aggressive play here with speedlings. KD8 charge does knock a couple of the lings back again, weakening them to a certain point. They decide to head on home or perhaps go the long way around, holding this Zelnaga watchtower. Meanwhile, Soulkey, or just rather Polt, is getting a tank, is getting a medevac, is getting more and more Marines. Possibly going to be aggressive with the drop tank here. Overlord scouting to make sure no medevacs come his way without knowing about it. Tank in a pretty good position behind this bunker to deal with any lings that try to come up here. And the lings are going to go for it, though. I think they are. I don't see a Baneling nest. I don't think Soulkey got one of those. He doesn't have a Roach Warren either, though. Again, bypassing that Roach Warren, bypassing that earlier tech. So here comes the medevac as the Zergling gets killed immediately by that tank. Dropping, holding the Zelnaga watchtower is Polt with Marines, and here come the medevacs. There was an attack back here. What was it? Reaper running around trying to kill some stuff, but has 2 total kills. Going to get killed here by the Queen himself. Queen's running around, Queen Brigade, and here come the Lings band. They're going to try to get in there, but again, a tank Yeah, tanks. Here we go. Let's see here. 35 damage versus non-armored, and Zerglings have exactly 35 hit points. So they do get one shot by those siege tanks. Not a good feeling if you're a Zergling to get shot by a tank in the face and just straight up die. Third command center coming up as well. And a drop in, killing a creep tuber. Nicely done. Polt being really active with his drops. It's one of the hallmarks of Polt, if we're honest with ourselves. Just bouncing around, trying not to lose too many workers, trying to keep Soulkey's attention on these drops rather than being aggressive. I like it. Soulkey now going for the Roach Warren, now going for a lair, 2 evolution chambers. Polt, meanwhile, is working on engineering base. He has, there we go, a reactor there with his medevacs, barracks, factories, stim coming up. And yeah, not really planning on trying to kill the Zerg player at this point, just being annoying, being aggressive. Has 1 drone kill to his name. Soulkey has killed a single SCV himself. So, Lings are trying to knock down these rocks as an additional attack path. Can they get it? They decide to abandon their quest and head somewhere else. Heading on up here to finally retake the Zelnaga Watchtower temporarily. Here comes another drop, or temporary drop. Looks like he just picked up the siege tank to reposition it. That's pretty funny from Polt. Not moving the siege tank traditionally, but instead picking up, dropping. And here comes Polt, moving on down. Going to take the Zelnaga Watchtower back once again. The Lings do get through the rocks. Kaboosh. And here comes the Marine attack. They do not have +1/+1 yet, but they do have stim. They do have 2 medevacs overhead. The Lings trying to catch them in a corner. Corrosive Bile lands. Doesn't hit anything at all. Good dodging by Polt, but heading back on home. Going to land and heal, I think, on this island. Maybe try to bop on in to the main base once again. No landing at all, actually. And a 3rd command center up and running for Polt. I need to see a 4th from Soulkey here pretty darn soon. Pretty darn soon. Actually, now taking the extractor here is Soulkey. That has not been taken here 6 minutes into the game, surprisingly. Surprisingly hasn't happened. Overlord positioning pretty good to see what's going on. Soulkey going for Glial Reconstitution, +1 missile, +1 carapace. Widowmines here again for Polt, going for a more standard Heart of the Swarm style, at least for the first 10 minutes. Marines, Marauders, medevacs, and Widowmines. Zelnaga Watchtower temporarily held by these Lings, and then back in the possession of the Marines. This is some prime real estate here, man. People are really fighting over it. Lings just being active, running around. This Widowmine does have 2 kills. And coming in to kill some creep, possibly. Polt is checking to see how this is. And yes, going to scan, kill a creep tumor, kill another tumor. He's going to get 1 more. Yes, he is. Roach's Ravagers show up, though, and actually force the Marines back. Again, in these numbers, Roach's Ravagers pretty good against pure Marine. Really need to get some Widowmine shots. Really should get some Marauders in there to do much better against this composition. It's 139 to 126 total supply, 66 to 60 workers. Soulkey is ahead and taking his 4th base, so about 60% complete on that one. Getting Tunneling Claws and Burrow. He's going for a Burrow move again. He did this in game number 2. Nope, game number 1 to pretty darn good effect. It didn't win him the game, but it was pretty nice nonetheless. What am I now with 12 kills? +1/+1. Just finishing for Polt's Bile Army. Overlord does fall to this Viking. He likes getting a single Viking just to hunt down Overlords, which is so nice, preventing that scouting for the Zerg player, especially if you're doing a lot of drops, as Polt is. I'm not sure if the Overlord saw that. Oh, he sees it now. He is aware of it now. What's going to come to try to defend? A couple Lings are on the way, but I'm not sure if it's enough. A bunch of Lings show up and force a pickup and a boost out from Polt. Again, I really haven't seen Soulkey get any Corruptors, which I'm kind of surprised about. He's tried to go Mutas in game number 1. Wasn't able to get many of them. And Polt is so good with drops. If you don't punish him for these drops, if you don't try to shut them down, he's eventually just going to bleed you dry. Here comes another drop right up the middle. There's a scanned Ravager count. Looking pretty healthy indeed. They are +1/+1, just like the Marines are. Killing a Marine before they get evacuated. Corrosive Bile missing everything there. These guys just hanging out once again. They might be able to kill this base. I'm not sure this is enough Lings to deal with it. And the question is, does Soulkey get stuck on Roach Ravager for too long? He did get Ultras out in game number 2, so that's what won him the game. Corrosive Bile. Oh, Corrosive Bile does get a couple kills. Polt's reaction time a little bit slow. Corrosive Bile taking out a Widowmine. I like to see that as a Zerg player. That's pretty fun stuff. Corrosive Bile again. Goodbye, Widowmines. Thank you for playing. We know exactly where you are thanks to the animation. And there's the Burrow. Oh, I don't know if Polt knows this is a thing or not. The Changeling dies. Roaches on Burrow catch some people by surprise. I don't know if they want to go in there, though. There are 2 Defender mode circles, and he's going for it. Soulkey throwing down Corrosive Biles, trying to kill the Liberators, managing to do so pretty darn well. Here they come, straight up face-on fight. Big army here for Soulkey. 177 and 145 total supply, going right up into the face of this Bile army. Corrosive Bile's thrown on down here, killing a Marauder and a few Marines. SCVs forced to pull off the line to save their own lives, but the Ravager count fairly low at this point. Moving in with the drop, is going to kill a Queen, possibly kill this hatchery too, just with 4 Marines. Ravagers, Roaches pushing back here. SCVs are dying. Ah, the Burrow Roach. The Burrow Roach again killing so many SCVs. The Scan killing a couple of Roaches, but most of them do manage to escape. Small group cleans up this drop down here. The medevac decides to go on home. Infantry weapons level 2 and armor level 2 just now completing for Polt as I say this sentence. Upgrades looking great for our Terran player. +2 attack, +1 carapace now for Soulkey. And look at this, killing more SCVs and then burrowing, forcing Polt to use scans to try to clean this up or just leave units in his mineral line, I guess. That works too. Building a missile turret, a big old Roach Ravager army, +2 carapace, just about to finish, 9 seconds away from completing. Corrosive Biles being tossed down once again, getting rid of the Widow Mines, and then moving on in again. Corrosive Biles trying to get rid of these Marines and these Marauders. Can they get them? Yes, actually, Polt not moving away very well. Pretty good concave here from the Ravagers and the Roaches, but the Marauders, very Marauder heavy here, standing on in, not worrying about those Corrosive Bile hits at all. And yes, I think that's it. Polt, yeah, Polt calls the GG. Polt is defeated. Soulkey's victorious, and Polt has left the game. Soulkey with a very, very strong attack there. With the Roaches, with the Ravagers, +2 was able to get his Burrow Roaches into this mineral line, killing so many SCVs. He killed 24 SCVs in that game, was up 72 to 39. I think Polt knew it. I think Polt knew he had lost too many workers. He had a huge army at his front door. His drops were not super effective. He tried to make it happen. He was very active with them, but the creep spread was good. The Overlord placement was good, and Soulkey was able to shut those down pretty darn easily. So well played indeed by Soulkey, losing game number 1, but winning games number 2 and 3 to take the series lead 2 games to 1 in this best of 5. We'll have to see who can pull this out. Can Polt come back and win, or can Soulkey continue this train to victory? Follow me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel to find out. All right, so that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.